Good morning to some of you. It really applies to those who may be not in the room, but I know that so many were enjoying in the experiences of Victory, bringing people together and making sure that we exchange the full vitality of our respective communities as well. And we're so grateful to have each and every one of you here. Welcome to our final day. Just as a recap though, wasn't yesterday just amazing? The energy, the excitement, and I hope you all were checking your social media and all different platforms because this conference was covered by all national press, and we hope that you'll share that experiences so that others can be informed about what this is all about, and then also having additional people also join us as well too. So please be sure to do so. I also want to thank again our presenting partners, Coca-Cola and Genentech. Another round of applause for them as well. As I stated yesterday, let's be reminded that if we can continually support our corporate partners in this experience, because we know that allyship is not a pendulum, and that it should be constant and continuous. And we want to support those corporations in solidarity with us. Thank you, of course, to our incredible staff here at Victory, from Sarah Pope to Pooja to Izzy, Itai, and all of the staff. Let's also give a round of applause to our hotel staff that are handling all of the logistics, the managed chaos, which is also known as Secret Service. Boy, was that an endeavor that was a first for Victory, but a good issue nonetheless. Okay, let's get on to our next event. This is our LGBTQ+ Hall of Fame. The next inductee, more than 2 decades ago, was a young community organizer from Los Angeles. I have a long script here as well, but I actually know it by heart because I worked with him. This individual served in the California, not this individual, Ricardo Lara. Ricardo Lara served in the California State Assembly. He served in the State Senate. He served as chair of the Appropriations Committee, which is a leadership position, but probably arguably the most powerful leadership position in the California State Senate, and now is serving as California's only openly LGBT statewide constitutional officer. By the way, plug for California, Senator John Laird. Is it the 4th largest economy in the world now? Yes, 58 counties, and a constitutional officer that we're very, very proud of. Just a side note, how many of you are state legislators? Raise your hand. So a number of state legislators. And then state legislators, that when you go before the Budget Committee or the Appropriations Committee, you are coming to plead and ask for augmentations and budgets to your respective districts or things that you are passionate and care about. When Mr. Lara was chair of the Appropriations Committee, it was incredible. I served as chair of the LGBT Legislative Caucus, and I would do my my formal meeting with him when he served as chair of Appropriations. And you give a piece of paper that lists all of your budget priorities. And I recall an experience that it's a little intimidating. He's my friend, but it's still a little intimidating because he has staff there with their binders, where money comes from. But I came in and I sat down, and he had all his staff. I had my staff to go over numbers if we wanted to talk about budget issues. But he actually immediately said, Assemblymember Lowe, it's good to see you. Could I please have all my staff please leave the room? So all the staff left the room, so it was just Ricardo and I, the two of us together. And he said, okay, I don't want to go. Done. What else can we be doing to advance the issues of the LGBTQ plus community? What is not on this list, and what can we be doing to help ensure that we have accountability and structural reforms so that we can make meaningful, transformative impact in everyday lives? But that's the type of real life issues to which why representation matters. Now imagine the contrary. If there was someone who is anti-LGBTQ in the positions of chair of appropriations or budget, quite the contrary. And that's why we are dedicated in helping to ensure that we want our voices not just in elected office, but in leadership positions. And he is the embodiment then of helping to ensure that it is intrinsic, it is always part of him. And that's why he is being inducted in the LGBTQ plus Hall of Fame. Lastly, let me say this. Mr. Lara is terming out as our statewide constitutional officer. And very likely, California now will no longer have a single openly LGBTQ statewide constitutional officer after he leaves. And why I mention that is because representation is very important. So let us continue, if we are retiring soon or in that trajectory, thinking about the pipeline. Who can help fill the shoes, not next year, but 3 years, not just next term, 2 terms, 4 terms, wherever it might be. We are dedicated in the long game. So please seek us out as we hope to chart out a path towards the future. And in fact, even again, lastly, even just I saw Senator John Laird telling me in the lobby that he is terming out soon, and that he's identified some people of consideration who are LGBTQ+. So that's the type of thinking that we hope to be able to do. Now, enough of me talking. Would you please give a warm round of applause to our next LGBTQ+ Political Hall of Fame inductee, Commissioner Ricardo Lara.
Oh my God, they put Ricky Martin. That's hilarious. I mean, I wanted the cure, but it's okay. Thank you. Good morning. It's great to be here. You know, God, I'm with my family. It feels so good to be in my community. You know, standing here today, I'm truly humbled being inducted into the LGBTQ Victory Institute Political Hall of Fame. It's not really just a personal honor. It really recognizes the communities that raised me, the movements that helped shape me, and the people who believed in me when the odds seemed really unsurmountable. I grew up the son of Mexican immigrants from East Los Angeles, California. Parents who really instilled in me the values of hard work, dignity, and service. They reminded me daily that our voices matter, even when the world and now our own government tells us otherwise. These lessons guided me on my journey to become the first openly gay person of color in the California State Senate. And as Evan said, later the first openly LGBTQ plus statewide elected official in California's history as Insurance Commissioner, leading only, of course, the one and only Harvey Milk. Who would have thought that a kid from East Los Angeles and somebody as great as Harvey Milk were going to be connected in the beautiful state of California like we are. You know, throughout my career, I've had the privilege and the challenge of being the first, like many of you, for many times. And these milestones were not just personal victories, they represented really collective breakthroughs for communities that long have been marginalized. As a legislator, I swung to the fences and didn't accept no for an answer, like many of you. When others hit a wall, we found ways around it, and I was proud to create the first ever Health for All Kids, giving undocumented children access to free health care. We ended incarceration for our youngest children in California and secured a path for driver's license for undocumented Californians. policies that position our state as the model for equity and inclusion. I bent my colleagues' ears, as Evan told you, and yeah, I twisted a few arms so undocumented youth could have access to higher education and financial aid. And as Insurance Commissioner, I embrace the truth behind the expression that my mom always says, no hay mal que por bien no venga. And lately, there's a lot of bad in my state. Deadly wildfires, destructive floods, people being snatched from the streets from my community, outdated insurance regulations designed for an era of payphones and pagers, remember those? That, are not meeting the supercharged reality of the 21st century climate crisis that we are living in. However, from this crisis, I developed a strategy to modernize our system, to hold insurance companies finally accountable for wildfire survivors. Now consumers can enjoy the protections, and insurance companies are stabilizing and growing again in California. Were these battles easy? Hell no. Is the work complete? Absolutely not. Now the Trump administration is attempting to strip protections for undocumented students, and many immigrant communities still lack access to health care despite legislation I authored to expand access to the Affordable Care Act in California. But is that gonna stop us? Hell no. We're gonna keep at it. These milestones were not just personal achievements, they represent our collective breakthroughs for the communities that have long been excluded from power. That's the whole purpose of us being here today. Being the first often means bearing the weight of skepticism, criticism, resistance, you all know this. Yet it also means opening the doors for others to walk through more freely. And the stark truth is that trailblazing is rarely comfortable, yo. Would you take a job if the description is must make unpopular decisions, challenged interest, tackle complex problems with no clear solutions? Well, guess what? We all did. We all did. And you said, sign me up. And that's why we're here. And as Robert F. Kennedy once said, the real one, by the way, the real one. The real one whose picture hung on my family's wall. Progress is a nice word we like to use, but change is its motivator, and change has its enemies. I live those words every day. Change is never easy, but it always is necessary, and it's always worth fighting for. Mi madre siempre me dice, yo no me sacrifiqué venir a este país para que mis hijos sean mediocres. Quiero que mis hijos sean gente de bien. As a child, I really didn't fully grasp the meaning of her words or the immense responsibility she entrusted to us. Over time, I learned that her sacrifice was a call to rise above our own limitations. And let me tell you, if you ever meet Dolores Lara, you know, despite my complaints, there are no excuses, and we are not victims in our household. We honored her. By her tremendous journey, by striving for a better future. Y ese sacrificio nos recuerda que no nos podemos conformar con menos. Debemos aspirar a más, luchar por más y asegurar que nuestras comunidades tengan la justicia y la dignidad que se merecen. Because being a gente de bien means transforming sacrifice into hope and hope into a fulfilled future full of possibilities for everyone, not just in this room, but our entire country. This honor is not mine alone. It belongs to every LGBTQ plus leader who bravely ran for office despite a world telling them no. It also belongs to the survivors of the LA fires and the more than 120 catastrophic fires that have ravaged the homes and communities in California. Yes, 120 catastrophic fires since I took office. For those of you who still doubt climate change. It's an unimaginable heartbreak and loss to see somebody completely lose their home. Yet they have found the strength to rebuild their lives and demand justice. Their courage teaches us that resilience is not just about recovery, it's about reclaiming dignity and hope in the face of devastation. And who better to be there to help them recover than somebody who has actually gone through that type of devastation as well. Somebody who knows what rejection looks like. Somebody who comes from a community that understands compassion. And that is what we bring as LGBTQ plus leaders. That perspective, that lens of hope, giving people that opportunity, that just love. We love on them a little bit to help them. So I'm also proud and dedicate this award to Honor Pack, to all the countless LGBTQ Latino leaders that we've helped elect. This is their victory as well. This commitment involves uplifting LGBTQ Latino leaders as well, and making sure that their communities elect them, even when they were told no. Together, we have helped pave the way for a new generation of elected officials who rise, lead, and represent communities that have been overlooked and underestimated. Their victories prove that when we invest in each other, we just don't change politics, but we change the future. And I accept this induction with the gratitude and the sense of responsibility, and I'm thankful for the trailblazers who came before us. And I feel a duty to ensure that the doors we've opened never, ever, ever close again. We have to work again. I know that the work is challenging ahead, but it's also filled with a promise. This promise that together we will continue to build a future where no one is denied coverage, no one is denied dignity, and no one is denied the chance to lead. Thank you, Victory Institute, for this honor. And I also want to express my gratitude to all of you, my beautiful, diverse community, for reminding me that leadership is not a popularity contest, although I do know about popular. It is a daily test of courage, compassion, and commitment, one that I proudly embrace and that we all proudly embrace by affirming, sign me the hell up. Let's get ready to fight. Muchas gracias.